Back again with new My Hero Academia reaction this week. This is episode 23 of Season 2. We're approaching the end of Season 2. Still unclear whether or not I will take a break between Seasons 2 and 3, but I don't think I want to. So I might just go straight into Season 3. And when we start Season 3, I'll have something new. I'll start writing in these once Season 3 comes along, but I got some nice little notebooks, some My Hero Academia notebooks to start writing my notes in once Season 3 comes along. But for now, we're just going to stick with the crappy writing pad, which the cover has just fallen off it. So yeah. Last week we had the Yaoyorozu episode where it was Yaoyorozu and Todoroki against Aizawa. Surprisingly enough, the one who looked best coming out of that match was probably the guy who lost, Aizawa. Aizawa looked like a badass in that match. I mean, I don't think he looked as badass as he did. It's damn close, but he didn't look as badass as he did in the Season 1, in the final battle at Season 1. But this was damn close. Yaoyorozu looks great as well. Obviously, the storyline of her getting her confidence back, which she lost when she lost to Tokoyami in the tournament, in the festival. And then Todoroki was part of the plan, but it definitely didn't focus on him whatsoever. It was all about her and Aizawa looking cool. But yeah, we've had 4 matches out of the possible 10 so far. We're in the end credit of the last episode showed us the 5th one, but yeah, we know the stakes. If they win against a pro, they get to go to camping, but if they lose against a pro, they have to go summer school, which is unfair. But then again, the teachers are wearing bands to slow themselves down. Kirishima and Sato against Cementos in a city, which was already bad news, and yeah, unfortunately they lost. So it's kind of bullshit if they have to go to summer school just because they weren't able to beat a pro. And those weight bands, they wouldn't have done anything to Cementos. It was because he didn't need to move whatsoever to use his powers, so they were basically facing him at whatever strength he decided, so there was no handicap there. So that's bullshit for Kirishima and Sato. Then there was the second match, which was Tokoyami and Sue versus Ectoplasm, which was an awesome match. Sue came in clutch by swallowing the cuffs, and Dark Shadow was also coming in clutch. Dark Shadow always comes in clutch. And yeah, obviously Sue and Tokoyami won that, so they're off to camp. Then came the third match, which we skipped right over, but, well, we didn't skip right over it, we only got the ending of it, which was Ojiro and Ida versus Power Loader, who we don't know anything about, and yeah, they just won that easily. Sort of. But yeah, Ida and Ojiro are off to camp as well. Then there was the fourth match to come along, the one I talked about, Yaoyorozu and Todoroki versus Aizawa. Aizawa looks badass. Yaoyorozu got her confidence back after whinging most of the episode, and Todoroki was just part of the plan. But they're off to camp as well. And now we're in the 5th match, which is Uraraka and Aoyama versus 13, which the end credit scene of last episode showed us that match going on. But that's not what we're interested in. Aoyama dropped a bomb last episode because obviously Uraraka, she's gotten to this point where in times of crisis she's thinking, what would Midoriya do? And looks like Aoyama's picked up on that. I don't know how, but he's questioning, is it because you like him? And she's blushing, so you know there's some truth to that. But is that really what we're going to go for in this episode? Addressing the ship? I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know what I'd call that ship. I'm not even going to try and think of any names, but yeah, there's only 2 episodes left after this one. So there's 3 episodes left of the season, but they've got to move on with the matches, haven't they? I imagine the All Might versus Deku and Bakugo is going to take up an entire episode almost, so we got to speed through this quick. So interesting to see what we're going to do, and we've also got Mineta and Zero versus Midnight coming up, which is a match I want to see. I want to see how they battle and they lose at that. But this show never ceases to amaze me, so maybe they'll win, but it won't be because of Mineta, I don't think. Let's just get into season 2, episode 23 of My Hero Academia, starting now.
Is it because you like me?
Oh. Oh my god! Damn!
The lessons I learned from Gunhead just so happen to come in handy here.
Oh!
I'm a mini battle hero.
Go on, Uraraka!
It looked to me like Ochako just lost focus and let go for a second.
Oh, really?
Aoyama's always looking at
The two
camera.
of them were talking. I wonder what Aoyama said that shocked her so much.
Who knows? It's too bad we can't hear their conversations.
Ashido and Kaminari are paired up for the next battle.
Okay.
They're going to have to fight against Principal Nezu.
Nezu.
Team Ashido and Kaminari.
Oh, I like this arena. Oh no!
Yes, I am. I can cause chain reactions depending on what I destroy.
Really?
Such calculations are as easy for me to make as a simple cup of tea.
What kind of power is that?
A genius villain can always win from afar.
Principal Nezu. His work, high specs.
High specs.
Humans conducted horrible experiments on Nezu. So, in times like this, he gets his vengeance. Kaminari,
Damn!
zap him or something?
I have no idea where he's hiding.
Revenge
I don't
against
think someone
humans.
shot yet.
They couldn't make it to the escape gate before time ran out. And so...
There's-
Team
there's-
Ashido and Kaminari have failed due to the time expired.
And here I went and left one escape route open for them because I'm so nice. So it's over.
What were you talking to Aoyama about right before the end of your match against 13?
Oh, well... It was nothing! You got it all wrong!
What's the matter with you?
I'll stop understanding!
face is
I promise
so
you guys!
Something happened out there, huh, Ochako?
Sue's on the case.
Team Coda and Shiro. Practical exam.
Okay.
You can control animals with your quirk, can't you? Okay, get some birds to attack him or something.
Okay.
I don't think I can take it anymore.
He's just talking shit and that's how he's beating them.
You control bugs and stuff, right? Look at this. An ally.
Coda!
Oh, it's scary, but
Stop bitching!
Chiro's ears are bleeding. She had to fight because I ran away. It's my fault.
He's a giant kid.
Come on, Tiny One, share my call. Now is the time for you to take out the man who's responsible for all this terrible noise. You can talk. You can do it.
He can talk. Oh, that's freaky. Oh.
Wow, Coda. Harsh move.
He let a few bugs beat him.
Team Coda and Shiro have passed
Go
the
on.
exam.
Okay.
Shuji, at this rate, we'll be trapped here forever.
Don't worry, he's only one man.
Now, why don't we see who's better at hide and seek?
He's such a badass, is Snipe.
He's trying to blind us. Hakakuri? So that's what she's doing.
Yeah, you distract him.
There! I got him!
Where did you... Oh no.
Mr. Snipe, you pervert!
I couldn't see you. I didn't do it on purpose. I promise. Forgive me. I would never... You're still...
Team Minato and Cyril. Practical exam.
We're speeding through these! Bro!
What is he doing? Damn it! How am I supposed to pass this stupid final? This is crap! Totally unfair! There's no way we ever stood a chance at winning here! It's not hard to imagine someone feeling as though they have no possible way to win.
Midnight, her quirk, somnambulist. She can put people to sleep with the fragrance coming off of her body. It usually does better on guys than girls.
Arrow, you bastard! I'll never forgive you for getting to be in her lap! Is he crying blood? He's that jealous of Cheryl? It could have been me!
Oh. Damn. Really?
Is there a goal in that child's heart he can focus on to win?
Or is he just a creep?
I want girls to love me. I can touch them. Well, that's straightforward.
Oh.
I wanted to be a pro so I'd be popular with the girls. I thought they'd fall in love with me once I became a real hero. I thought it'd make me cool.
Oh. He wants to be cool!
If I see someone running away from me and screaming, my sadistic side aches so bad that I can't sit still. Look at her. I lured you this far out here so I'd have a shot at escaping. This was all a part of my plan to win and prove that I'm actually cool! You sweet little boy. Why don't you come out and play? I don't have to fight you. This is it. You're right where I want you. It's time to take my special move! How impressive. He managed to trap her far away from the gate! There's
Okay.
no court can stop him now!
He stuck the thing to her hand and then he stuck the whip to the ground.
Wanting to be popular with girls is a concrete goal for him. Thanks to me, we'll live to see boobs another day!
Team Minato and Cyril.
Ah!
Pass the exam.
His teammate. You're gonna have to talk to each other at some point. Oh my god.
Ready?
It's gonna end. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches in this episode. Start with number 1. We were continuing on. Well, we basically got a slightly shortened version of the end credit scene from last episode at the beginning of this one, whereas Aoyama's dropping the bomb to Uraraka. You like Midoriya, so causes her to let go because she's in shock. But then her experience with Gunhead kicks in because obviously when I was talking about this last episode. 13's power, if one of them lets go and flies back too suddenly, and 13 doesn't react in time, she could suck them into a black hole. So that came up here. Uraraka let go, she was getting pulled back, so 13 had to shut it off, had to shut the black hole off. And Uraraka just uses her experience with Gunhead and tackles her to the ground. Aoyama restrains her other arm, and they cuff her. They win. So Uraraka and Aoyama are now off to camp. So out of the 5 matches, that's 4 that have succeeded. So up to that point, bad luck for Kirishima and Sato. Yeah, Ninja Uraraka is what I put. But yeah. Sue is onto something. She noticed that Aoyama and Uraraka were talking just before the end of that match, and yeah, she's catching on. Naturally, if Uraraka's going to talk to anyone in that class about what Aoyama said, it's probably going to be Sue. It's going to be It's going to be one of the girls, definitely, and I don't think she'd do it with Momo. Probably not with Hagakure. Probably not with Jiro, and unfortunately, Ashido is not going to camp. So, yeah, I think it has to be Sue. Which that moves me on to my next. What I just said moves me on to my next one: Ashido and Kaminari versus Nezu. Nezu is a psychopath. I always wondered if he was a human and then his quirk turned him into a person. Well, if he was a person, his quirk turned him into what he is now. But turns out he was actually a... whatever he is, a mouse, probably. And he was experimented on, so I assume sort of genetically mutated, and then he got his quirk on top of that, so... His power is he can predict exactly what's going to happen depending on what he smashes. It's like, if I knock over this little thing, then that's going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, and then that can... He's got super prediction. He's basically seeing the future without being able to see the future. What was it, base gamma or something? Like, test field gamma or something like that, when they had the obstacle... They had a little race a few episodes back. That's a badass testing ground. It's unfortunate that we don't get to see more of it. I hope we do. I want a full episode of people just going up against... You know what? I'm going to pitch an episode here. I don't know if it's happened already, but get every single member, every single classmate of Class 1A, and just put them in a free-for-all, like an eliminator match, and they're all in that base gamma, whatever it is, and they have to just fight each other, and they sort of have to restrain each other, and it's like an eliminator base thing where they have to beat each other one by one. At least then you get a good rank of who's bottom, who's to the top. So yeah, just one by one they all get beaten until we have a winner. So I just pitched an episode there. Maybe the showrunners will listen to me and put it in, because I know they've done that in the past. They've actually put in episodes when they've had just as filler. I think the Sue episode was like that, a few. So there's no reason why they can't do that. But yeah, Nezu is a fucking psychopath. I'm terrified of him. He seemed somewhat cute up until this point, but now I'm terrified of him. Then it was Coda and Jiro versus Present Mike. Present Mike was beating them by simply talking shit. Like, he was like, I'm getting bored, where are you? Hurry up! And he was deafening them. He was making Jiro bleed from the ears. Meanwhile, Jiro came up with a plan for Coda to control the bugs, which is apparently that's his thing. He can control animals. So he's a warg from Game of Thrones. So yeah, apparently that's his power. That's probably the most screen time we've ever had with him up until this point. And not to mention, he fucking spoke for the first time. He's like a giant kid. I think I've said that before. Like, his superhero attire and his attitude and the way he acts, he's like a giant child. So I guess that's his thing. How did he get into UA? It's mad. But yeah, he had... It was a freaky plan as well to use the bugs to crawl underground and then crawl all over Present Mike. He basically fainted from a panic attack, basically. God knows you don't want bugs crawling all over you. I don't think anyone wants that. Mad. But yeah. Coda, he spoke, he's a giant child, and he can control animals, so we learnt a lot there. Then we swiftly moved on to, well, Coda and Jiro are now off to camp as well, so out of the 7 matches, 5 of them have succeeded and go into camp. So at least Kirishima and Sato are not going to be on their own. They've got Kaminari and Ashido there to keep them company during the summer school. Then we swiftly moved on to Hagakure and Shuji versus Snipe. Snipe is a badass. His voice is badass. I'm not sure what his quirk is, really. I assume he's just an excellent sharpshooter, but his costume is badass, his voice is badass. And naturally, you want stealth in a situation like that, and like Yaoyorozu said, Hagakure is probably the best they've got in the class when it comes to stealth, even though she doesn't get a lot of screen time because no one sees her. That's the fucking point of being stealth. And yeah, Shoji was just the distraction. Hey, Snipe, look here. Whereas she's somewhere else, sneaking up behind you. I assume he accidentally touched her chest when he elbowed her chest accidentally. All of a sudden, Snipe didn't look so cool when he was panicking. How is he supposed to know? He cannot see He cannot see you at all. No one can. Shoji and Hagakure are off to camp. So, well done. Out of the 8 matches so far, 6 have succeeded. Then we moved on to possibly the strangest moment of these matches so far. Minato came in with the clutch play against Midnight. He was bleeding from the eyes with jealousy that Sero got to just slightly nudge her boob. How is she able to teach kids? I don't get it. Like, I remember ages ago when one of my reactions to an episode with Midnight came out and they were like, oh, they allow it because she's a woman. Even then, it should not be a thing. Like, if it was a man behaving like that, then definitely not. But even a woman, still, it shouldn't be a thing that she's doing that. But yeah, Sero was instantly put to sleep by Midnight's fragrance. So that's basically what her power is. She's basically a gas. She basically secretes gas and puts people to sleep. Somewhat sympathy for Minato for the first time, I think, when his motivation is kind of creepy, which Minato is kind of creepy. He's always been a bit creepy. He wants to be popular with the girls, which is relatable, is quite relatable. And yeah, he just wants to be cool. He wants to be seen as a cool kid. And a little flashback to him in school, when all the girls are talking to the other guys and then he's just sat over on his own. So, tiny bit of sympathy there, but he's still a funny creep. And yeah, basically, this is Midnight's weakness. All you have to do is wear a fucking mask. She'd be pretty useless. If she was in the real world, she'd be pretty useless at the time, because everyone wears fucking face masks now. Well, most people do anyway. Minato using his sticky balls. I can't believe that's the thing, but yeah, he uses sticky balls. Her whip is what she uses as a weapon. He stuck her hand to the whip, and then he stuck the whip to the ground. Therefore, she can't move, and he just runs back to the exit, and whereas she's still stuck there, and he grabs Sero and drags him across the finish line. Minato came in clutch in a match against Midnight. Mad. But we got the teaser for next week, the teaser for the next episode, and the main event: Bakugo and Midoriya versus All Might. Let's get into Rumble. They're not going to be much of a team if they can't even speak to each other. That's what I'm looking forward to, because they're obviously going to have to interact with each other to get through this match. They might even fail. They probably could. There's a high chance that they're going to fail, because this show, like I said before, well, I've said it in a previous episode, but this show has no problems with Midoriya losing, as long as it teaches him in the long run how to be a better hero. Yeah, he has no problem. This show has no problems with him losing, and it would probably be. We've found that it's quite funny for Bakugo to not get what he wants. So I'd say it's about a 60% chance they lose next week, which that's mad that you can pitch. It's so easy to picture the main character losing something. So at least this show doesn't really have that. Midori doesn't really have that plot armor. Like, you don't assume he's going to win at everything, because his whole point is training to be better. The whole point of this show is him training to be a hero, and obviously he's going to have mistakes and failures along the way. So, yikes. We blasted through the matches in this episode. Like I said, we had 5 matches in this episode alone, and yet I didn't really feel like I didn't personally feel like we lost time with anyone. I felt like all the matches what we saw of all the matches is just what we needed to see. That's all we needed to see. We didn't need to see like a 10-minute build up to what was happening. Like, all the matches so far, we've seen all that we needed to. We didn't see unnecessary stuff. So, yeah, guess that's it. So excited for next week. We're into the main event soon. But, yeah, for now, that's all we've got for My Hero Academia. Until next time, we are over and out. Bye!